Good morning. This is Greg, the Window Doctor, coming to you. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. Last week we talked about glass systems and how important glass is because it's 85% of your window. What kind of impact that could have on your utility bills. Today, when you go out to buy a window, and let's say you're going to choose a aluminum window, that's a product that's out there. There are a couple of things I want you to be aware of. The general aluminum window that you see that builder grades use is a solid aluminum frame, and it's going to have a high conductivity rate of energy through the frame. What that means in simple terms is when it's really hot outside, that frame's going to be real hot on the inside because it's conducting that at about 1,000 times faster than vinyl or wood is. So that may not be your best choice. If you're in a situation, let's say a homeowners association, which requires that you have brown windows to match the rest of the condos or other area, there is aluminum windows on the market today that are actually called a thermal break aluminum window. Okay, and in this particular situation, I can get that in that dark brown, but as you'll see right here in the middle, it has a piece of thermal break material that doesn't allow the energy from the outside to conduct through the frame to the inside of your window. So it blocks it. It's a thermal break window. Now, myself, I'm not a huge fan of aluminum windows, but if I had to sell an aluminum window, I would absolutely make sure that I had a thermal break in it to maximize that energy efficiency of that window. Now, another thing that you may have to consider when you're looking at windows is what color. And that's an unusual question because a lot of you may just have white windows. But there are a number of different houses that have dark brown brick or earth tone type colors. And having a white window in there just may not be your first choice. So another very common color is almond. Now that's more of an earth tone type color, and it's a lighter brown, obviously, than the dark brown that we were talking about a minute ago, but it certainly is a nice color. Now remember, in vinyl windows, almost certainly the color that you'll have on the outside will also be the color that's on the inside. So remember that when picking that color, that it's going to match your decor on the inside. Another color that's popular right now, and I don't have a small sample of it, is clay. This happens to be one of our newer samples, and a clay color, which is a little bit darker, as you can see, than the almond, but certainly lighter than the brown. I like the idea of going with windows in this situation that aren't really dark because they don't tend to attract energy. Another thing you may have is a situation on the inside where you may want to have a paneled office and stuff, and you may not want a white or even an almond. There are a number of options. Some of the companies actually have a laminate that they put on the inside coating of the window. This happens to be like a dark mahogany, and this happens to be an oak. So all the trim or framework of the window on the inside would have this. The grids on the inside would have the same color, and then on the outside it would either be a white or an almond. That's a choice. Another choice would be on the outside, if you didn't want white or almond or clay, is to go with a painted aluminum. And there are a few companies out there that can actually go with a painted product on the outside. And you see this is a blue or red, to have some brown and green. Let me get the greens out there for you. So it has a variety of different colors on the outside. Now, of course, that's a higher upgrade because it's an extra step in the manufacturing process, and probably for a select few people, this might be a really good option for you. One of the last options that you have is going to be grids. Do you want those little squares inside your glass or not? Now, I know for myself, when we changed our windows out, my wife and I went around on this, and how I compromise, and guys, you got to learn to compromise. Don't win the battle, lose the war, is I put the grids on the front of the house, and then on the sides and the back, I went with clear glass. Now, it's a high energy efficient glass, but with no grid, so you don't have to look through that. Grids come built inside the glass. They can come flat, or in this particular situation, this is called a sculptured grid, which is a little bit more pronounced in the distinction that it has. And the grids in the window really don't add to your energy efficiency, but it does change the look. And of course, it's also going to change what? The price. So if you want to maximize the price, then make sure you get it painted and get it laminated on the inside, get sculptured grids, and we can maximize your price. If you want to minimize, try to avoid those little extra options. Again, this is Greg, the Window Doctor. Thank you. Signing out.